Today on the channel, like a young Green Arrow, I don't wear bows. I shoot them with Green Arrow DC McFarlane Page Punchers.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another DC McFarlane Page Punchers unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got Green Arrow. But for all your Green Arrow needs, make sure you hit up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. And I've been a fan of Green Arrow since I was a little kid for a few different reasons, but it always reminds me back to the 80s. I think it was about the mid to late 80s, somewhere in there. And Green Arrow was a little down in his career. People had kind of forgotten about Green Arrow at this point here, but I remember going when I think it was with my parents, and I was at a JCPenney's department store. Pretty sure JCPenney's. And back in the corner of the store, kind of by the toy department, kind of by the little boys' clothes, there he was, the Green Arrow, just hanging out in the back of the store. I'm like, what is going on? Why is the Green Arrow here? And I assumed it was a Green Arrow. And I walked up to him. I said, "Are you the Green Arrow?" And he looked at me and he said, "Yeah, I'm Green Arrow." And he sat down and he said, "Come here, little boy." And he put me right on his lap, which was pretty strange, stranger danger right off the bat. But he said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Well, my name is Kyle." And he said, "Kyle, I want to tell you something. Use this advice, and luckily for you guys, I'm going to share this advice. And I've kept secret this advice for a long time." He said, "Kyle, no shot is hard to make. It's just easier to miss." And he said, use that someday in your life. And I have. And I'm using it right now for you guys here. And of course, we're going to use this and do this review just like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And the Green Arrow, as I mentioned, I was a big fan of because I've talked about it on the past on the channel here. But growing up as a little kid in the 80s, obviously I was Kenner Superpowers, things like that, Star Wars, He-Man, G.I. Joe, the gauntlet of 80s figures and toys. However, I had an uncle who grew up in the 70s. I think he was born in the late 60s, played with toys in the 70s. So when I would go to my grandma's house, his toys would be there. And what was there for a 70s kid? Of course, Mego toys. And my favorite Mego he had all the superheroes from DC, a couple of Marvel mixed in. But one I really loved for whatever reason as a little kid was the Green Arrow. So I've always enjoyed the Green Arrow from afar, from a distance, but never got too wrapped up into it. I never watched his CW series. I'm not watching the CW. That's not for me. We didn't do any of that kind of stuff, but I always enjoyed the Green Arrow. Always thought it was pretty cool. And what was his little partner, like Speedy or something like that? That wasn't Speedy. What was the one that got into drugs? And there was one that got into drugs. I remember that being a big deal back in the day. Never read that one either, but I said, oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. And I'll never forget my time at JCPenney's department store with Green Arrow as well. But let's dive into it. Let's get into Green Arrow. This Page Puncher I actually picked up at Target for, I think it was like $6.98 on clearance. Not necessarily my Green Arrow, but for $6.98, it's tough to turn down a McFarlane figure for me. I don't know, maybe you're in the same boat as me, but DC Green Arrow does say comic book included in English language. Good for me. Of course, I can read English and a little German. Oh, one of these days I'll tell the long story about how Kyle cheated the system in college to pass German. Oh, it was an amazing tale. The teacher sat me down at the end of the semester and said, "Mr. Peterson, congratulations, you have passed German, but I will never let this ever happen in the future of my teaching. You cheated the system and you won. Good job." And I did. It was quite the story. Remind me to tell that one of these days. Injustice 2, I believe a video game, if I'm not mistaken. Page Punchers going on over there. On the back, picture of the figure, picture of the comic book. A lot going on right here. We're going to get them out of the package, and we're going to see how straight these arrows fly. Oh, keep your arrows straight there. Almost said lantern. Arrow. The green team, Green Arrow, Green Lantern. It's all about that green. It's all about the money at the end of the day, apparently. See you later. Goodbye. Oh, my gosh, we're losing stuff left and right. Plastic Prison, Green Arrow. He's got his bow. He's got his quiver. Has he got a quiver? He's got some green arrows, that's for sure. We're going to pop him out as well. Of course, we got to have some twist ties. We got to have that kind of stuff. Wouldn't be a Todd McFarlane product without it, right, Todd? Todd being very quiet on the couch today. He had a big day. As I'm filming this right now, he just announced his very own figure with bare feet. Yes, bare feet, Todd. I can't believe you're putting barefoot toys out there. Unbelievable. And I need some money. I need some financial money from you, because how long have we been joking about you dangling your barefoot toes and wiggling your toes off the couch? And now here we are. He's releasing a figure that has barefoot feet and you can wiggle the toes. It's too big of a coincidence. It just really is too much of a coincidence, if you ask me. And speaking of coincidences, coincidentally or not, I'm not done cutting all these out. Unbelievable the amount of twist ties on this guy here. Even down to the arrows. We're locked in across the board, no doubt there. So we're going to get this arrow out of here. We're going to get Green Arrow out. See you later. Oh, twist ties through the air. Always a tough scene. Always a tough scene there. Gosh, we're not done. More stuff to cut out. We do got the DC stand. Going to take our last DC stand right here. See you later. Goodbye. DC, we've seen him before. We'll see him again. We know how that goes. Oh my gosh, is everything locked in here? Everything is locked in something. It's the amount of plastic here is just horrible. Let's get some recycling, Todd. What are we doing? We're going to pull this card out, I guess, right there. And we're going to see what's going on with the Green Arrow once and for all. Maybe it'll have his story of me meeting him at JCPenney's. Maybe not. Real name, Oliver Queen. Oh, a queen by any other name. I do like his Raleigh Fingers mustache back here. It's been a hard-traveled road for the Emerald Archer, as this Oliver Queen gave his life in the fight against the regime. Now, as an alternative Urs Ali steps in to honor that sacrifice, he will join his wife, Black Canary, in Batman's crusade to set things right. Oh, we got to set it all right. That's the way it goes. Of course, you do get a comic book with these. Always a cool throw-in. Always cool to get the kids out there, or even the adults, to read some comic books. Good cross-sell. All that kind of fun stuff. Makes sense, really, at the end of the day. But now we're diving in here, and we're going to start with the accessories. We do got the little bow bag here. Of course, he just sticks this in his backpack. Looking good. All in green. A dash of color or two wouldn't hurt this thing, I don't think. You can put the bow in there if you want to. Of course, green bow once again. Of course, a little cheap plastic here. Would have been nice to have a real string. Not in the cards, unfortunately. And then you got a whole thing full of arrows, and those fit back here as well. So I guess you can store everything in the backpack if you want to. Big miss with this one here. You should always have at least one arrow that's by itself so you can pretend he's doing some archery. He's trying to do something. That would have been nice. Not in the cards, once again, unfortunately. But everything does fit in the backpack, which is pretty cool. I am here for that. But could have used a little extra color. Could have used a lone arrow. Come on, Todd, what are we doing? But now we're diving into Mr. Queen himself here, and he almost looks like that guy from The Princess Bride. Now, I've never seen The Princess Bride, but I know enough to be dangerous. I saw commercials. I've seen clips, but he kind of has that guy's look to him. That guy from that movie. And that's not Andre the Giant. It's not him. It's one of the other guys. But it does look like him a little bit. I like the goatee, like the mustache, looking really nice. Looking like he's going to an off-Broadway play is what he kind of looks like. He's going to be the star in the story of Peter Pan. Very interesting hat that is not removable. Even got some arrows in that hat, looking good. Even his hair color being yellow with almost a little dash of green in it. Dare I say, Oakland A's fan, writes itself, really. He's got some shoulder guards going on, looking very interesting there. And then he's got the forearm guards into the gloved hands in green. He loves green. He is ready for St. Patrick's Day right around the corner. He's ready to go with St. Patrick's Day, no doubt. And then he's got the shin guards like a young Terry Steinbach boots down below. Arms, of course, go all the way around. Shoulder guards go with it. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows on here. A little looser than I'd like it to be. Hands back and forth, side to side. No extra hands with him. 2 open hands here to grip stuff if he needs to. No hula hoop, no waist, no nothing going on with this guy. What are we doing here? Big old splits if you need them. Legs go up, double jointed knees, ankles up and down, side to side. Pretty much it at the end of the day. Not a lot of bells and whistles here. And I will say the skin tone on this one feels a little bit light, a little bit pale. Maybe he needs to get out in the sun. Oh, pro tip there. Get a little of that vitamin D. Doesn't hurt. Never hurt anybody. Never hurt anybody unless it did. And then it did. There you go. But the face also looks a little pale. He does got that mask going on. Like, oh, yeah, he's like a young Marcus Alexander Bagwell as the handsome stranger back in the day. There's a throwback to my childhood. But, of course, he does fit on the DC stand, as you would imagine he will. So, is this the best Green Arrow ever? No, far from it. I am hopeful for McFarlane to give us better Green Arrows in the future. But I guess for $6.98 or whatever it was at Target, plus I used the red card to save 5%. It was a deal that I couldn't pass up at the time, but I do look forward to the future, 2024, maybe beyond. Todd, only you would know over there. He's knee-deep in his pen and paper, so we'll see what he's up to later. But hopefully we get a more classic Green Arrow in the future. But there it is, Page Puncher's Green Arrow. Any thoughts from you guys out there? Did you ever pick this one up? Did you pass? Did you ever meet Green Arrow in the JCPenney's randomly in the 80s? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below as well. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and even more content over on Patreon, including early access to both YouTube channels' videos, Q&As monthly, dog stuff, pizza reviews, you name it, it's going on over there, the old Patreon. And best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for the Green Arrow and Todd McFarlane on the couch at JCPenney's department stores, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.